Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Heat Team call. This is February 18th, 2020. We are a month and 20 days into, no, and 18 days into the new compensation plan. And for those of you that haven't been around very long, just I wanted to share that the idea, oh, by the way, we're Chris and Nikki Cotton.
We are?
Yeah.
Shoot.
And you all are the Heat.
I thought we were Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. All right.
Okay.
Stupid. Okay.
So we've gone through a change in the compensation plan, and the big picture was, first of all, so that every country in the world is on the same plan, and that just makes sense. It makes it easier for all of us. So that was number one. Number two was to make it simpler to explain, and the idea that simplification creates acceleration and make it go faster. And I think we're going to see that also. And the other thing that was important was to narrow the steps in the marketing plan so that you had smaller steps in between your marked goals. You know, so more positions to just make it a shorter step. Specifically, we know that that step from sales coordinator to senior sales coordinator, that's a big gap. So they created a couple of new positions, and we're already seeing that to be true. And then there's some exciting things going on in regards to, you know, reshipments and things like that the ladies are going to talk to you about tonight. But the one thing I want to say in the introduction is that the cool thing they've done about these shorter steps is they give you worksheets. And it's just one of the most important things and greatest innovations that we've seen, because now each of you, and this is the whole point of tonight, can learn how to do those worksheets so you know where you stand. More importantly, you know where any of your new people stand, and you can walk them through nice, short, laid out steps. So we're excited to be doing what we're doing tonight. And take it away, Nikki.
I would just suggest to all of you, if you don't have the QSC worksheet in front of you, or the Partner Plus worksheet in front of you, that you listen tonight, and then you go back, print them out, and have them in front of you, and you can lay them out for yourself if you're going for Partner Plus or QSC, or you can lay them out for your team, because I know both Michelle and Patti are going to talk about how they work the worksheet to help their people know what they needed to do, and even how much money they would be making if they were able to complete either one of those steps. So with that said, Chris is going to say something.
Yeah, and also this is the first of, I'm not sure how many part series, because these worksheets go all the way up. So we're going to start at the beginning, which just makes sense.
Cool. All right. So Michelle, I am going to turn this over to you. And this is Michelle Ogluski. She's from Apache Junction in Arizona. Although she is under other national marketing director, which is Alita Spire, who's our NMD in Phoenix. Michelle has become very close to her cousins under another mother. And so we've worked really closely with Michelle for many years, and a lot of the stuff that we've done, she's really helped us out with. And so when I asked a few people if they would volunteer, Michelle graciously did. And Michelle, for those people that don't know you, can you just do a 2-minute or less story about how you got started, maybe a little bit about Tyler, so if people are wondering about preemies and moms and all of that, just a quick 2-minute story.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nikki. Yeah. I started Juice Plus probably about 13, a little over 13 years ago. At this time, I was introduced when my son was, when I was pregnant with my son, and I ignored the person who told me. Could have kicked myself now for that. But lo and behold, long story short, he was born premature. He was all 2 pounds, 4 ounces when he was born. He's now a very healthy 15-year-old, but when he was 2, no was his favorite word, and along with that were fruits and vegetables. So I thought, well, I have to do something. So I called up that friend that I ignored before and said, okay, well, we need to try this Juice Plus stuff and those plant powders. And she said, great, what have you got to lose? You try it too. I'm like, fine, I'll try it too. Little did I know that was a catalyst for my entire family's nutrition, and all because of Tyler being preemie. That's what brought me into the Juice Plus world. And now he's a very healthy 15-year-old. If you know anything about preemies, There's a lot of issues later on, like even in their teens, there's asthma, allergies, certain breathing issues along the way. And he really doesn't have any of that, knock on wood, and when he does get sick, he can kick it super fast. He has not been on antibiotics since he's been 2 years old, since we started. I'm healthier now than I ever was, and it's made a world of difference for my husband as well. So how could I not share what we have? With that, I want to go into this Partner Plus spiel. I'm going to take you through that tonight. And in particular, it kind of lit a fire under me. I've been doing this for a while, and with the new compensation plan, I'm super excited about it, guys. I already have 2 new partners this month. And it was simply from what I'm about to show you. It was by starting that. So I'm going to share my screen and get that up, share. I created a little PowerPoint just because sometimes my internet goes crazy when I'm on Zoom. But so this is kind of just going into Partner Plus and success. What is my next step? And this is taking it from the very basics of where to find it, as if you were a brand new rep. And this is what we should be, or our brand new partner, shall I say. And this is how we should be starting with our new people. And with that, the new reship thing, if you haven't listened to Alexis Busselman's training of how that all works, you need to listen to it, because it was been a game changer for me. And I know with some of my friends as well. So the first step with this, they've made it so simple now and put all things, it's a one-stop shop with your Juice Plus virtual office. It's so cool. What you're going to do is you're going to log into your virtual office at juiceplusvirtualoffice.com, your username, passcode, put that all in. And then if you see, I circled it with that green little circle there, you're going to go to the Freedom Revolution. So along with that, once you get to the Freedom Revolution, it's going to give you, and I don't think you need to put the password in when you're on your virtual office, but I put that there in case you ever just go to the freedomrevolution.com, put in the password as revolution, but you don't need that from your virtual office.
Michelle, sometimes you do when you go into the getting started. Sometimes it asks me and sometimes it doesn't. So it's good that everybody knows.
Okay, good. Yeah, so just so you know, that password is always revolution, super easy. And then I wanted to show this in 2 ways. If you are on your computer, it does not show the 3 bars. If you are on, and I don't know if you can see it on my screen, but if you are on your phone, which is the snapshot I took it from, there are 3 bars in the upper right-hand corner. That's like your menu bar. So you click on that, and that's what's going to get you to what's called compensation plan in it, and you look for compensation plan United States, and you click on that. If you are on your virtual office or on computer, I should say, it just shows the toolbars at the top. It'll say compensation plan and other toolbars you can hit. So you go to that. And then with that, you're going to scroll down a little bit to phase 1. And phase 1 is going to have you from partner, partner plus, qualifying sales coordinator, and up to sales coordinator, our first 4 steps. Right now, we're going to take a look at phase 1 and the partner plus. So this is where you would go to where it says download Partner Plus worksheet, and you're going to do that, download it, and as it says, save to your computer before editing, or print it out, whichever works for you. I personally would kind of do both and have it printed up. And then also we want to direct our new people, and I would suggest anybody to watch this video, this orange box here. It's a video by Julie Herbst, 6-minute video that totally explains everything you need to know about Partner Plus. So what I did now is I added in the worksheet of what that looks like. So this is what the Partner Plus Fast Track worksheet looks like for our new people. And it's so simple and it breaks it down. Anybody can follow this. It's fantastic. So up at the top, these 2 boxes shows you what you need to achieve your Partner Plus. You have that 1,000 points in promotional product volume, PPV, and from your orders and your customers' orders within the 30 days or less. And step 2 is that you have at least 2 preferred customers, including yourself, and at least one of them is new within that 30-day window. And that's how you track it. If you look down below here, it gives you examples of how the points work and how the products work and how that all fits together. So for example 1 shows you our quad order right here, which is 420 PV, And again, it's super simple, 10%. Your sales profit, SP, is $42. A trio order is 300, trio, 300, and then your sales profit is $30. Super simple of how that tracks. So now, I'm gonna move on to the next slide. This is just a sample of how this is working. This is actually one of my people right now that's working on this. And as I said, it's the auto reship. I was looking through my customer analysis, which Patty's going to explain of how to find that. I was looking at my customers and who was due to ship out. I was looking at in January, who's shipping out January, February. I happened to find Dee. She's shipping out in February, and mentioned to her, hey, you could, you know, offset the cost of your plan. Went through the whole Alexis Busselman, and she said yes. So she's working right now. She actually signed up on February 7th and also placed an Omega order. She has her reship order of her Family Healthy Starts trio order going on February 23rd. So that gives her 300 points. The Omega is 120. I put that there. So now we just need 2 more new orders that she's working on. She has people in the works of 2 trio orders that would be 300 points each. That would give her a total of 1,020 points. So I broke it down here of her sales profit. She would earn with those orders $102 plus her $50 that the company's going to give her. So she'd earn $152 back, and she's getting a free conference ticket. So I added this little box in here. You could even print it up and write that. And then the next one, this is just one more sample. This was one that Nikki gave me. Nikki, I changed the names.
Good.
So just added that in of another sample of someone who's working towards their Partner Plus and the breakdown of how that works, including a Tower Garden order. If you notice example 1, 2, and 3, they add in the different products and how that looks. So Sally here has a Tower Garden order, which is 485 points. She now also ordered a trio and Omega, which is, you know, 300, 120. So that's a total of 905 points. She really only needs like 1 new order, guys. And that would be her new person. She has a friend, Tracy, that she's talking to, and that's how she's working with that. So, and this is actually someone else who did this and thought of this, it's not me. She wrote down for Sally what her sponsor, what that would look like, what she's going to earn. She's already going to earn with just the 905 point orders, $209 plus her title bonus from the company, the $50, which equals $259. Plus she's still going to get commissions from that new order that's going to come in. And then she's achieved her Partner Plus. So that's just 2 examples of how it works. You can have all different combinations. And also, again, listen to Julie Herbst because she will explain that as well. You could have like 1 trio order and 5 complete orders. The possibilities are endless of how that could work. But that's what I have for that. I am going to turn it over to
Michelle, can you go back to the slide before? I have a question to ask.
Okay, let me go back this way and play. Yes.
So on this one, where you said, you know, she needs 2 new customers, or, you know, with the trio orders, she could also have gotten just 1 customer that totaled 600 points if that's what happened. She didn't necessarily need to, but that was the suggestion because that looked like it might be the easiest thing for that partner, right?
Correct. Okay. Yes, because in her scenario, that's what's happening. She has 2 friends that have said, sure, I'm open. So that's what we were working on with her.
And then before we go on, does anybody, I'm going to switch this back to gallery view.
I'll stop share here.
Stop to share, and let's just do, we'll leave you on, Michelle. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have something they didn't understand? And if so, just unmute yourself and ask. Cool. And all of you saw on that one example where she had a reshipment, and that's what made the difference for her. She still needed at least the other new customer, but she got to use a reshipment from before when she hadn't ever made it to this position. Okay, cool. You did a great job, Michelle.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So Did you want to say anything about Patti, Michelle?
I would love to say something about. I was so thrilled when Patti and I both said, yeah, we'll do this. I just love Patti. She's a dear friend of mine. That's the beauty of what we do too, is you get to meet friends for life and buddies that we get to hang out with and do trainings together even now. How fun is that? But I love Patti dearly. She's, she's been a personal trainer for years, and she's all about just being positive and going for things, and I just love her dearly.
Thanks, Michelle. Iggy, I can't even call you Michelle. So thank you for that. Nikki, you want me just to dive right in?
Yeah, or tell a 2-minute quick story for
Okay.
anybody who hasn't heard of it. Just to keep it under 2 minutes and then dive in.
So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Patti Buchholz, and I have been with the Juice Plus Company 21 years. And I grew up in Tahoe, and I was actually in Tahoe supervising a ski school. After a bunch of injuries, somebody introduced me to this, and I was like, oh my goodness, this totally makes sense. I was a single mom at the time, so I said, how do I do this for the best price? I was one of those 5%ers that signed up as a distributor, a partner right on the bat, and then got my orders coming. Working at the ski school, I wasn't getting sick like everybody was in the locker room. And my daughter wasn't getting the colds and flus as bad as everybody in school. And I really got my attention. And then pretty soon people are going, why aren't you getting sick like everybody? And I'm like, well, I guess it's this Juice Plus stuff. And so I started gaining a little customer base. And then somebody said, well, I want to do what you're doing. And I got a team member. I also worked in Alaska in the summertime. So I actually left probably 4 or 5 months after I signed up as a partner. And I was doing my Alaska thing, and I was getting paid from Juice Plus. So that woke me up to what residual income was. And I've never looked back. I had a fitness studio that I shut down 6, 7 years ago now, and I've been full-time with Juice Plus. So, and I have to tell you, I love our team, and I love, there's a couple people on here that we work very closely together, and I they're my best friends, and I love being able to say that. Iggy is definitely in that category. So super excited. And we were able to kind of, unfortunately for me, this was kind of a late thing. I didn't pull it together as quickly, or as I like a lot of time to work on things, and I didn't do that today. So anybody can do this. So I'm going to go into screen share 2. And there we go. I think, do I have to go into the play first? I might have to stop.
Yeah, you can hit play on the left. I see it. Oh, it was there.
Okay, here, I'll do it again. Sorry.
And up on the left, I see on your toolbar, it says play. It says keynote, and then it says play. Add slide to the right of that, play.
Yeah, right there, I got it. Okay, so, and I need to go back up. I didn't go to, that's where I wanted to start. So Iggy took you kind of through where to find the Freedom Revolution. So that is exactly where I'm going off of. But I backed up just a little, because in the first part of that, you should see this, the price and earning guide. And I encourage everybody to download it so you have this for a quick resource, because it is what we are living by, right? And so right now I am going to the QSC, and this is exactly what Michelle showed you, but she went to Partner Plus, and I'm going to QSC. And like Iggy recommended, I recommend that you go to the short video clip. They are so powerful and so good. But right now I just kind of going to the download your QSC worksheet. And so that's what this is. And thinking you guys can see that. You might have to highlight it, but something going through this and preparing for this, I learn something every time I teach, and that's why I like to step out of my comfort zone and do things like this. But you'll see a number 2 there. It says that at least 1,000 of the PPV of the 4,000 that it takes to get QSC comes from my own customers and my own orders. My own personal orders.
Patti, why don't you start with number 1, just so we know what the overview is?
Okay, so the overview, so you already have 1,000 points. Iggy just took you how to get to Partner Plus, so you already have that 1,000 points. So now on the top, number 1 says you need 4,000 points. Really, you need 3,000 points more. So going to number 2 is at least 1,000 of those points will come from your customers and your own orders. Number 3, this is really a important thing to pay attention. Only 1,500 of those points can be your own household orders. So you can't have whatever the family tower gardens and have that be a bulk of your points. It does have to come from a lot of your customers also. And then going down to number 4, I have created a structure of at least one new level, one team member with one or more preferred customer orders. So that's pretty clear. And then number 5, it's really important that you have added at least 5 new preferred customers. And that's super important to know, especially as we're going through our PVC report and seeing who, now that we can use reships, it's really important that you know that you need at least 5 new preferred customers.
So Patti, I have a question, and maybe you're going to do this, but I think it's really important. I have a question. When you said, you know, if you've already done your Partner Plus, you've already got your 1,000 points. That's only true if you are in your first 60 days. But if you are doing a do-over, you don't have any points, basically.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Scratch, and that's really important. And so when Patti's going to be talking about reshipments, it might add up to close to 4,000, but of those reshipments, if 1,000 of them is not from new customers that you and your new partner are bringing in, you'll still need that 1,000 points from that arena. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. And I think I lost that screen share that I wanted. So that was a slide we were just on. This, I'm kind of going to go backwards a little, but you can see this is what Michelle did also, is that she filled it in. And something I didn't get to, but I appreciated that she did it, is I think it's really important. In fact, I think it should be on this form that there should be a date area that we can write the date. So make sure when you write in the product that you put the date that product was added, and then the points. And so this is to get them to that point. One thing I did not do, which Michelle did, is to show you how much they're going to get paid on each product. And so remember that if they're doing installment, for instance, say on the trio number 2, he has a trio order at 300 points. If he is paying, or that customer is paying on the installment, they're only going to get $75 off of that product. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of switch gears.
Patti,
yep,
that's not true. On a reshipment, if you're going for a position on a reshipment, you count the whole volume. If it's a trio and it's a reshipment, you're going to count the whole 300 if you're going for a position.
You're counting the whole volume for promo, but you're not getting paid on that whole 300.
That's true. You're not getting paid on it, but you're counting it for the position that we're talking about.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, that you can't, yeah. Thank you for clarifying though.
Patti, can you make this bigger at all? If you go back into your PowerPoint, you can choose your slides and then be at 150%. Like right now I see them at 100%. To the left of that, it says you can make that zoom like 150% so that we can really see it. Yes, that would be much better.
Okay. And there, it went back. So it's almost better when I'm not in the screen, isn't it?
It is better.
Okay. So now we're going to go. Any other questions on that one? You want to keep going, Nikki?
Well, so what you got here is all of this brand new person's customers, but you haven't, I know that these have to do with reshipment. So are you going to go through all that?
Say again?
Well, did I miss something? Because when you and I worked on this.
Yes, I'm going backwards.
Okay, so I will be quiet. So you're showing that he's got his 2,000, but you're going to show where it came from.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of go backwards. Michelle took you to this spot where we went into the virtual office. So how are you going to find your who's being reshipped in January, February, March, basically? And she showed you to go to your basically your dashboard. I circled you're going to go down to your team data. And I do want to clarify, if you're brand new to this business, you go to your partner that's above you, your upline, and ask them to explain this. This is kind of for everybody, but it's not something you have to totally understand yet. Good. So then you're going to go to customer analysis. And I think I probably should up that slide, huh? Is it hard to see? So you're gonna go to customer analysis, and then at the top, you're gonna pick the team member that you want. I'm gonna go up big. Is that better? I know
Yeah, you can leave it. That's good.
okay, I'm gonna go a little. Member you want. Down here where it says entry date, you're gonna make sure you leave that blank, and that's really, really, really important. So just trust us on that one. Then you're gonna go down to format. The next slide will show you report. And this is what I wanted to show you. I ran a report on my VIN number, and it pulled up a bunch of my customers, and you can see I have not clicked on the next step date, next ship date, and you can see it showing me stuff that's going to be shipped in April and March and all the way in June. But I don't want that. That's not going to do me any good right now. So you make sure you click on the next step at the top where it's highlighted next step date, and you can see
Ship date.
next ship date. It puts it in the order. And sorry about my squiggly lines, but it gives you the right idea. So right now I can go and look everybody that's shipping in February and March and back into the end of January. And I'm going to contact each and every one of those customers and do just what Michelle just said she did, is to see if somebody would like to know more about bringing some income, you know, at least paying a little bit for their own product. Okay, so this is backing up. Sorry for the scattered, but what we did here, and this is what I took the form for, and the forms that I had for the QSC to fill it out, is I took this form and I looked at it at the next ship date. It's not showing, is it? Sorry guys, I did this.
Yeah, it was there.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so the next ship date is what I'm looking at. And so you can see here that Scott has something shipping the 16th, a couple orders ordering the shipping the 16th of March. But below him, Paulino had something that was entered and shipped on the 27th. So for this QSC, I can go back and use those dates. So now I have a 60-day period that I'm starting in January on the 27th. So I have to February 27th and then to March 27th to get him to QSC.
And we're trying to get Scott to QSC. And
Thank you.
Paulino is Scott's partner.
Yes. And on the side, all the way to the right, you can see I wrote a number 420. So under Scott, his Omegas, and then his trio is a total of 420. So that's what that number is to the right in the margin. And then down to Paulino, you can see the same thing. He has 1,035 points. And the difference with Paulino is some of these orders are from Canada.
So they don't show up here.
Yeah, okay. And then this again, doing the same thing, you're showing Craig had an order that we can use on the 27th.
Craig is also frontline to Scott.
To Scott, thank you for clarifying. So all these orders under Craig are gonna help Scott get to that QSC. And again, I wrote the number on the side. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Any questions on that before I go?
Just unmute yourself if you've got any questions here.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so that's how we got this. That's what I just went off of, as that customer analysis is where we got this information for Scott. And I filled it out on the QSC fast track worksheet. It was Scott with Scott's order. Scott had 3 of his own orders. Paulino had 2 of his orders. And then you can see under Craig, I put what Craig's orders, actually his customer orders were, and the total of points. I did not take the time to break it down to what he would be making and I wasn't quick enough to get that done before we started.
Now, Patty, this does not add up to 4,000 points though, does it?
Correct, correct. And the reason, the numbers, I tried to change it in here, but it was because of the Canadian orders that changed things. So if I remember correctly, he was not very far from getting his 4,000 points.
Well, actually, so are you done with this now?
Yes, and
Well, I'm going to add to this because actually he only got to about 3,000 points.
Okay.
And so, in fact, you got 2,500 there.
But it was all in US, yes.
And that included, all you needed more was 495 points from the Canadian. So he still is not he's only at 3,015 right now. So what would you advise Scott to do, Patty? Because he's only at 3,015. And what about the whole new customer thing? What is Scott going to have to do?
It depends what he gets, but you can see the chart below. He can add some quads at 400, which it would take 3 or 4 quads to get him there. If I'm adding him, not
but
quick.
I remember that rule that says he needs a certain amount of new customers, and most of these are reships, so I don't really get it.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. He is going to need 5 new customers, and we were going off of the reships.
And why is he only going to need 5? Because I know he needs a total of 7 new customers. Why does he only need 5?
Because it was his one team member that had the new customers.
Right. So the new team member had himself and 1 new customer, and Scott hadn't had any new customers for a while. So if Scott wants to complete this, not only will he need almost 1,000 points, but he's going to need 5 new customers that are going to help him get those. So 5 is necessary because you need a total of 7. And we know he needs close to 1,000 points. So he's going to get 5 customers minimum that are hopefully going to equate into the 1,000 points he needs.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. And so I pulled this slide back up so we could see that Craig had 3 new team members, or 3 new customers.
No, Craig, those were all reshipments.
Oh, okay.
All of that was reshipments. And that's why this was such a great example, because Craig had 1,500 points in reshipments, and Scott had 420 in reshipments. So between reshipments and his brand new rep of Paulino, he was already up to 3,000 points. So Scott only needs 1,000 points and 5 new customers. And that's where those reshipments are so important, because all of these here were reshipments. See where it says next ship date? These are all Craig.
Yes.
So that 1,560 just happened to coincide with the timing that Paulino came into the business. So are there any, do you have anything more, Patty?
No, I don't. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I think, if I'm right, I think everybody needs to look at this and make sure, this is something that I got clarity on today, that about thinking that we should go off points just with reshipments, and we cannot do that.
Wait, say that again, Patty?
I was thinking we could use the points off of just the reships, but we can't. We need the new customers also.
You mean if the reshipments had added up to 4,000, that still wouldn't have worked for him, because he's got to have a total of 7 new customers during the 60 days.
Correct.
Okay. So do you want to stop screen share and let's see if we have any questions?
I do have a question, because my understanding is not just that he needs some new customers, but he has to have a certain number of new partners, like 1 new partner within that 60-day window. Is that correct?
Yes, but that was Paulino. He did have the new partner, so we were.
Oh, so that was a new one, not a.
No, that he was a new guy with 1 new order, and Leslie, that's why it came up to 2 orders, and we said he needed a total of 7. That's why Scott only needs 5 more orders, because Paulino and his customer were 2. Now he needs 5 new orders, but he's also missing 1,000 points.
Got it.
I have a quick question. So what if he found a new partner, and that partner brought in 4 people, and so that partner hit his partner plus, would that count as his 5 additional
Yes, because it says you and your frontline level people have to have a total of 7 new customers. So yes.
So if he
Totally.
brought in one partner and he hit partner plus and had 4 people underneath him.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. He was already, Julie, a partner plus, so this is kind of like a do-over.
Right.
So does that make sense though, Julie?
Yes.
Okay, great. That was a great question.
So I have a quick question. So if he didn't make it within the 60 days, though, you could roll those orders.
So no. So here's the thing.
No.
Here's the thing. Starting in April 1st, this whole plan that we just did, using exactly the way we did it and having a rolling 60 days, is only good till March 31st. Starting in April, the new rules are new people. Remember, Scott was a do-over. New people, brand new distributors who start their business in April will have a true 60 days. So let's say somebody brand new starts on April 15th. They will have till June 15th. But if Scott doesn't get it done by the end of March, then he's going to be on the calendar month. He will start April 1st. He'll start all over. Has to collect 4,000 points between April 1st and June 1st, or whatever that 60-day period, April and May, through May 31st. April 1st through May 31st, he's going to have to collect 4,000 points. He cannot do a do-over as a do-over person starting in April, and new people get the true 60 days from whatever day they start. Does that make sense? And reships always count for everybody. Reships still
No.
count.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? So, number one, I really want to go ahead and thank Michelle, did a great job, and Patti for sharing, especially the one Patti chose, because it was a little bit complicated because he was a do-over. He had lots of reships, but it really got us focused on getting all the rules correct. Had to have 7 new customers in those 60 days. It didn't matter if he had totaled 4,000 points of reships, he would have still had to have new customers. And why do you think that is? Why do you think that might be a good idea?
Well, I think of it as the bathtub analogy, that there's always water going out the drain that we need to constantly be refilling.
Yeah, so it really gets your person, great answer, that's doing a do-over to continue bringing in new people. It doesn't just let them off the hook with all the old orders. They're actually moving forward and continuing to share and bring this incredible gift to new people. So they're impacting more lives. Any other comments or questions?
I have one quick comment that might be helpful.
Yeah.
Just for Zoom, I'm new, so it has only to do with the context of using this. One thing that might help when the screen is small, when you guys are seeing the screenshots, if you're on a phone, you can pinch out your screen and it'll zoom it in really close.
Cool.
So that's what I was able to do to really see those really clear.
I know.
I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but it was really helpful. So
yes, I didn't know that, but I was wanting to lean in and do it on my screen. You know, it's like, get this bigger. So that was great. That was great. And I'd forgotten you probably can do that on the phone. That's the one advantage of the phone.
yeah.
So cool. All right. Good technical IT work there, Karis. I'm going to stop the recording.